Good morning. Today's webcast is being sponsored by Jewel Heart Chicago Sangha. And if you or your Sangha would like to sponsor a webcast or contribute in any way, you can go to the Jewel Heart website on their homepage and click on Thanks a Million. So thank you.
I mentioned to you yesterday, I did not mention to you yesterday. I mentioned here in Garrison that their system, they call divided into two categories of living beings, sentient being, and enlightened beings. According to that point of view, we are all sentient beings, and when you're fully enlightened, we change our sentient nature into enlightened nature, total knowledge nature. And that is the transition they do. So pure sutra part of you, and then this 5 part, and the 10 bhumis, 10 bhumis. So anyway, it's sort of some people will say it is a hierarchy structure in Buddhism, but it's not necessarily a hierarchy structure, but it is the individual level of spiritual development. If you don't have the level, then you don't have a marking wherever you are going. Even the birds fly in the air. There's nothing there marking. However, when the birds look on the ground, there are different places like mountains and lakes and all that, and becomes marking and where they are getting. Similarly, to the people who are on the path, we also do that. And we don't talk that normally much. Why? Because we're not there. We're not there. We just almost, no matter how many years we've been working like 30, 40 years, even then we are really at the beginning stage, according to the sutra part of you. Mind you, this is very strange. If you look at it, traditionally in India, Sanskrit, Pali, both, they will say Buddha first generated body-mind, then accumulated merit for 3 countless eons, and then finally obtained enlightenment state. Not 300 generations, 3 countless eons. So can you imagine? It is almost unimaginable. This is interesting. And that's why many of those law schools, Theravada schools, don't talk about Buddha, becoming Buddha, because it's a far, far, far away. And no point of talking. It is way beyond our comprehension, because it's not that Theravada does not accept Buddha. They do. They do accept Buddha. They don't deny Buddha. They're all followers of Buddha. They do accept. However, they don't make it eligible for everybody, just because it is too far away. The Mahayana is the only one who says each one of us are eligible. Each one of us are eligible, but it depends on whether you are capable or not. Capable or not. It is the Mahayana part which says each one of us has Buddha nature within us, which means there's something which will become Buddha within us. Seed of becoming Buddha is valuable within us. That is Buddha nature. So therefore, Mahayana introduced Buddha as a fully enlightened one, as someone that we look for is our fruit level and the result. And then the Vajrayana, even though Mahayana accepts, Vajrayana is part of Mahayana. And although in the West it's very well known, three yanas, they say Hinayana, Mahayana, Vajrayana. They're sort of commonly known and commonly accepted, which is nothing wrong, but that's not the way the tradition, either in Sanskrit or Tibetan or even in Chinese or the Japanese traditions, I don't think they came in that way. And that way. Actually, it comes in as Sharvakayana, Parchikayana, Buddhayana. That is the three yana. Normally comes that way. That way. Sharvaka is the disciples of the Buddha. During the Buddha, those monks who are listening to Buddha, taking teachings, including not only their interest of Theravada teachings, they even listen to the Buddha's teaching of a Mahayana. And they do not practice, they passed on the teaching. That's also why one of the names for the Sharvakayanas are called hearing and saying. After they hear, they say it. They don't practice, they heard, they repeat. Gombuthiri daja nyendyungyur, chanju tamba yanda takmarji, chanju bayi tanya rabduju, tewe daja nyendyu misendas. So Gombuthiri, so they address to Buddha, protector. Today we become the Sharvaka. We will listen to your teaching of Buddhayana, and we will pass your message of Buddhayana, but we will remain as a Sharvaka, which means you're not going to practice. That is how they make a statement. And so that is Sharvakayana. So mostly Buddha's disciples are called Nyendu, or the Sharvakayana. Shariputra, Mohongal Putra, and all of those, Ramjo, and all of those, Kungao, Ananda, and all of those are the Sharvakaya. And then Parchikayana those are self-liberated sages who appeared between the two Buddhas. The first Buddha Amitabha's period, tenure, and then between the Buddha Shakyamuni's tenure fully developed. In between that you have those Parchika Buddhas. So that's also why when they divided into three, this is a little boring for Sunday morning for you, but since I'm talking about the Mahayana and the Theravada difference, I had to mention somewhere. So though it's a little boring. So these are the self-liberated practitioners. No teacher, self-gain, self-obtained ordinary enlightenment. Not the Buddha level, but ordinary enlightenment. Those are the sages and soothsayers. Many of them falls in that category. Then there are Buddhayana. That is, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas are part of the Buddhayana. And according to Tibetan tradition, that Buddhayana is divided into two. One, pure sutra, sutra alone, no mystical aspects. And that is the 5 paths and 10 bhumis, which I mentioned earlier. And then the Vajrayana path is the mystical aspects of the Buddhism, which is also part of Mahayana, based on the Mahayana, based on the Theravada. Without Theravada principle, without Mahayana compassion, Vajrayana stands nowhere by itself. It will be dingling in the air. There will be nothing. Nothing. So it is based on the Theravada principles of such as Four Noble Truths or 12 links of interdependent nature. And then the Mahayana part of the development of ultimate, unlimited, unconditioned compassion, love, and 6 paramitas or 4 plus 4 paramitas, so 10 paramitas. Paramita is Sanskrit word which normally you hear in English, gone beyond or something. So all of those are the foundation for Vajrayana. It's a foundation. So on top of that, the Vajrayana is built. It begins with the initiation and the 2 stages. What you really struggle, or what is our challenge is 2 stages. Stage of development and a stage of a complete development, imaginally building up. And the completion stage will make it, whatever you imaginally built up becomes reality. Both you yourself as an individual, so individual living beings or inhabitants and environment. Both inhabitants and the environment are imaginally built up, it becomes complete, completion stage. When it becomes complete, you become the reality of that. And that is, the Vajrayana is known quick path, not talking about 3 countless eons, not talking about but hundreds and thousands of years of struggle, talking about it very practical, short lifetime, very short, within like 50, 60 years of struggling and becoming Buddhahood, become so close, very close. It's almost you maybe make it, almost become touchable, almost become you can acceptable. So that's the little difference, and that is how I like to end today for introducing the Mahayana path briefly. Thank you.